Hello my friends, this is Jeannie. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hello friends, it has been a while. I thought I would take the time today to share with you what I have been up to and also bring you along as I complete another page in my journal. This particular journal is a relatively recent make. I made it for Halloween and it is made mostly from paper bags. I would say probably 97% paper bags. It does have some Tim Holtz paper in it as well, but really and truly the majority of it is different paper bags. I did share the process for this particular journal. I will link those videos down below in case you're interested in seeing how it came together. What I have since done, since completing this journal, is I did prep the pages of the first signature by covering them with either clear gesso or white gesso. And that's just something I sometimes do to save myself that step when I do find time to sit down and actually create in the journal. It's just one less thing I have to worry about. So if I don't mention it when I go through the pages I did create, just keep in mind that before I start working on any page, I do prep the page with gesso. This particular series of pages that I worked on today, I'm trying to tell a story. I don't know if I've accomplished that, but I'm trying to signal the start of Halloween, right? So let me share with you what I've done so far. Page 1, the front of signature 1, super simple. That is quite intentional. I love the image of the first page and I did not want to cover this up, so I kept it very simple with a happy Halloween sentiment that I layered on top of a Tim Holtz backdrop. The backdrop is from the Halloween backdrops from 2022. Yeah, I just ripped off a piece of that, inked the edges using some Scorched Timber Distress ink. The sentiment is from a die cut by Cherry Lynn Designs. I've had this one in my stash forever. The number on this particular one is B as in boy 829. I used some Tim Holtz black craft stock to cut the sentiment, and then I glazed the sentiment using some chipped sapphire distress glaze. Super simple. The next page is where it got really fun because I got to get inky and my hands dirty, which I know some people don't like that, but I don't mind it, and I just had so much fun doing it. Believe it or not, this page started out a craft color like this. What I use to create the background are my distress markers or my distress crayons. I use the color Chip Sapphire, Black Soot, and Ground Espresso. I kept the blues in the middle. I use the brown to frame the page and the black to create the shadow of a tree and also ground my image. I then went in with some gold paint splatter to create a starry effect, and I used a basic Sharpie to create some branches. Can you see that? Some branches on the tree. From the tree is a clothesline. Isn't this the cutest die ever? It is called Witch's Laundry. It's by Cherry Lynn Design. Let's see if I can get a number for you. I've had this one in my stash forever. B as in boy 334, Witch's Laundry. How cute is this? Basically has an entire witch's outfit and her black cat hanging on a clothesline. Super cute. I love it so much. It was the perfect size for this page. Layered that on the top of the page, added a sentiment in the shadow of the trees, something wicked this way comes. That sentiment is from the Tim Holtz Halloween clippings. This is old too. This particular set is, it says 2017. The number is TH93619. Crazy that it's that old, but not surprised considering what's in my craft room. So here again, kind of have the start of the spooky season, Witch getting ready. She has to get her little Halloween outfit out, her best spooky witch's dress, her fanciest boots, her finest stockings, her best hat. She's getting ready to just make her appearance. So that's the idea behind that page. And since we all got to see her laundry, why not check out where she's living? So I thought I would do a page kind of showcasing where our witch has been hanging out all season long, planning and plotting. This particular die is a Tim Holtz one, and it is called Haunted 664735. What I love about this die is the little black cat hanging by the window. Absolutely adore that. And it was also proportionally just perfect for this particular page. Again, I cut the die from some Tim Holtz black craft stock. It's black on one side, craft color on the other. It's a nice thickness, not too thick. It cuts like butter when I run it through my Sizzix machine. I then layered some orange craft stock behind the die cut to give the windows that glowy effect. The background I created in the same way that I created the background for this particular page. And in this case, I did add some purple. I believe the purple I used was, yep, Wilted Violet. Just worked all of the colors in the background using some water and my fingers. I then applied some water splatter on top, let it sit there for, I don't know, 10 seconds or so before I kind of soaked it up with paper towel to create kind of like that spotted effect in the background. You see that? Just more interest. Some gold paint splatter. In this case, I added a sentiment, gathering of ominous forces. This moon is also a die by Tim Holtz. Let's see if I can get the name of it for you. Here it is. It is called Moonlight. It is 666386. It didn't use the entire die. I just used half of it, and you'll see the other half in the page that comes after. So to me, it makes sense. You know, now that we've seen where she literally hangs her laundry and we see where this witch lives, this witch has to now make an appearance, right? And that is the final page that I am working with or working on today. And I thought I would bring you along for that process. So I am going to start by using those same colors to create the background. I am going to start off with some chipped sapphire. And I know this is going to look crazy, but trust the process, friends. Generally apply it where I want the blue to be. It does go through an ugly phase before it looks cute, doesn't it? Going to take some of that ground espresso. Create a frame. I'm also going to add some black. Okay. I'm going to add some water. Before I do that, let me I don't want to activate any of the inks or oxides or anything on the other pages, so just gonna add that piece of protective packaging. And I know it looks crazy right now, but trust the process, friends. Trust it. And if there's color here that you don't like, that you don't want, you can just pick it up using a paper towel. If it's too much black, not enough blue, if you want more blue, you want more brown, there is no messing this up. Zero pressure. All right, I'm gonna hit that with some heat. Add some more blue. And this time, instead of spraying the page directly, I'm just going to spray some of the water on the side so I can dip my finger. Keep the blue a little more intense. I think I want to add some purple just to layer some different colors. And as you can see, what's activating the Distress crayon and making it easy to blend is that moisture on my finger, that water. It's perfect. We're gonna leave it there. Try not to overthink it. Let me wipe up some of this. Then what I will do, just add some droplets. Let it sit there for a little bit. And then just pick that up. We of course need some splatter. My favorite method for creating splatter is using Winsor Newton ink. In this case, the color is gold. I use a small fan brush. Just dip it right in there. Kind of shake off any excess, tap it a little bit. I don't want huge drips. I just want some splatter. And then create some splatter. I'm going to use my heat tool. Just dry that up. Okay, so I have this wonderful, wonderful background now, right? Isn't it gorgeous? And here's what I thought, or what I had in mind. I did a little bit of kind of dress rehearsal. I have the other part, the second half of that moon. Here's the second half. Don't want it to go to waste. And I thought it was also a great way to kind of create a running theme, some flow between the pages. I'm thinking I'm gonna have this moon there. I'm thinking we need a witch on a broomstick. There she is. Need her. And some clouds. We need some clouds. So I have some clouds. Okay. So I'm thinking generally this is the general idea for the page. These clouds entirely too bright. They need to go through something. They need to change. We need to grunge those up. The witch is a die. Let's see, who is this one by? Another oldie. This is a Spellbinder's die. Witch on a broom. Let's see if we have a number I can give you. S as in Sam, 4834. It's a cute die, witch on a broom with some bats. And the clouds, that's also a Tim Holtz die. Let me get the name of that one for you. Got it. It is from this set called Edison 666382, and you can see them right there. These particular clouds are cut from probably some scrap cardstock that I had laying around. I'm always trying to use up those scraps. And this particular die is cut from, the witch on the broom is cut from that same Tim Holtz craft stock. Now, I mean, I guess technically this would be the correct side because that's how the die would cut. But I didn't want her facing that way. I wanted her facing the opposite way. So I just flipped my cardstock over and cut on the craft color side so I can then use it on the black color side when applying it to my page. I don't really think it makes much of a difference in terms of the die itself. It's a silhouette, so, and it doesn't have any embossing. It's not one of those dies that embosses details on it. So in this case, if you want to flip your witch to go in a different direction, go ahead and do it. I don't think it much matters, at least not in this case. So that's the general theme for that page. We do have to fix this. This needs to be changed. So I thought we can do that together. I'm thinking what we can do is use some distressed crayons. Let's start with some of that black. I hear a cricket. There is a cricket in my studio somewhere and I can't find it. I would love to find it for no other reason than I would love to get it out of here and out where it could survive and thrive as opposed to starve and unalive in my studio. But I can't find the fella. There we go. Let's hit that with some heat. And it doesn't have to be like a solid black as if I cut it from black cardstock. I don't mind that some of the white is kind of peeking through with the distress crayon, kind of creating a grayish effect. I don't mind that at all. I'm okay with this. I think this works. All right, put that to the side. I think what I do want to do is I don't want the white edges, so I'm just going to use whatever marker I have on my desk and just use it to these look like some very serious storm clouds, don't they? Okay. I am going to use my favorite adhesive. Yeah, that's perfect. That moon is bright though, isn't it? My favorite adhesive to work with is the Tombow Mono Liquid Glue. I have been using it for years. I'm gonna hold that there for a few seconds. I think what I will do is add the clouds first. And then these are still wet. I want to dry that a little more. I'm afraid the adhesive won't work if the paper's wet. I am going to cook these clouds. Okay, that should be good. Okay. Have you started crafting for Halloween? I have been itching for Halloween this year. Front of my house is already decorated. My husband thought I was crazy when I started putting out my Halloween decor. About 2 weeks ago. But that's what I wanted to do. I was in the mood to do that. That's what I did. Looks really cute. Speaking of craft room, it's not only mine anymore. So my 17-year-old daughter is she's a creative, she's a maker, and has discovered my studio. She used to just work from her room, but she kind of figured out that why work from her room when she can come down to mom's fully stocked art studio and have a blast, which I love. Absolutely love that she is now sharing my space with me and using my supplies. The crazy thing is that she is starting to figure out my system down here of how I sort and store things. When she first started working down here or creating down here, she would, always text me. I would be upstairs because I leave her alone. It's, it's her time. Let her use the studio. She doesn't need me watching over her. 17 years old. I'm not worried that she's going to burn herself or hurt herself with anything that's down here. So she'll text me, Mom, where's this? Mom, where's that? I'm looking for this. Do you have this? Do you have that? And she's always amazed by the fact that whatever it is she needs, odds are I have it. I think we've only had to make one run to Michael's, and it's because she needed a special type of elastic for something she was making. I had elastic, but it wasn't thick enough, or I should say wide enough. Anyway, she's figured out my system. Now she doesn't text me anymore. Now she just, walks in here, knows where everything is, and just has a blast. And I absolutely love that. There we go. Now we're going to add a beautiful witch. I am loving how this is looking so far. So consequently, when she wants studio time, I just give it to her. Even if my plan was to spend some time in the studio myself, whenever she expresses that she wants to come down, I just change my plans. I don't mind doing that, not for her. I guess what I need to figure out is how to fit a second table in this studio so that she can have her own space, her own table, and maybe we can both work in here together. So the plan for today, right, is that I get the morning shift. So it's Sunday and it's relatively early for me. I usually don't craft this early because I, doing things around the house and preparing for work for Monday. So I usually get into the studio pretty late, but she told me yesterday that she wanted to come into the studio, so I had to figure out how we're going to make this work. And the way we're going to make this work is I take the morning shift and she'll take the afternoon shift. How cute is that? Now, I don't mind that it's a dark background, relatively dark background, and you have these dark silhouettes in the front. But if that's something that bothers you, what you can do is take a white Stabilo or any white pen. I have some gel pens here, but I don't want to be bothered with those right now. And you can use those to create highlights if you want. Kind of like the cloud. Same with the witch. She could be picking up okay. I'm not going to stress it too much. I'm not going to get lost in the details. Let's see, maybe the tips of her shoes, back of her dress here. Maybe her lap a little bit. Okay, that works. What we need now is a sentiment. Okay, how about we keep the sentiment simple? Sometime in the middle of the night. Very cute. Where do we put it? Do we put it up here? I think there works. Just gonna add a little bit of glue. Go ahead and date this page and call it done. And there is the finished page. Sometime in the middle of the night. So let's start from page 1. In the shadow of the trees, something wicked this way comes. A gathering of ominous forces. Sometime in the middle of the night. This, my friends, for me, is truly the official start of spooky season. I am so very much looking forward to October, to the fun October dailies that many makers here on YouTube release during this time of year. I am especially looking forward to Oddtober, which is typically hosted by Release the Craftin' and Pink on Bird. So I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if their prompt list has already been released. I'm going to look into that a little bit. I'm hoping it is something that inspires me because I would like to participate. And very much looking forward to continuing working in this book for sure. So let me know, which is your favorite page? Is it page 1, the witch's laundry, page 2, the witch's house, or page 3, a witch on the loose? I think this one, the 3rd page, is my favorite. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I hope to see you in my next video. Until next time, bye bye.